The time constant of a unity gain first order plus time delay process is 5 min. If the phase lag at a frequency of 0.2 rad min is 60, then the dead time in minutes is A 512, B 6, C 12, D 3. The correct answer is 512. Which of the following does not figure in the list of 7 substances selected for International Temperature Scale? A. Ice F.P and steam BP. B. Oxygen and sulfur BP. C. Antimony and silver FP. D. Zinc B.P and mercury F.P. The correct answer is zinc B.P and mercury F.P. A constant volume gas thermometer employing is used to measure sub-zero i.e. 0 C temperature. A. Helium. B. Hydrogen. C. Nitrogen. D. None of these. The correct answer is helium. pH meter has A. 1 cell. B. 2 cells. C. 3 cells. D. No cell. The correct answer is 2 cells. Routh test. A criterion provides information about the actual location of roots. B cannot be used to test the stability of a control system containing transportation lag. C criterion is not applicable to systems with polynomial characteristic equation. D cannot determine as to how many roots of the characteristics equation have positive real roots. The correct answer is cannot be used to test the stability of a control system containing transportation lag. The open-loop transfer function of a process is. In the root locus diagram, the poles will be at A14, B14, C23, D23. The correct answer is 23. Water is entering a storage tank at a temperature T0 and flow rate Q0 and leaving at a flow rate Q and temperature T. There are negligible heat losses in the tank. The area of cross-section of the tank is A0. The model that describes the dynamic variation of temperature of water in the tank with time is given as AQ0T0TAC. BQ0T0QTAC, CQT0TAC, DQT0TAC. The correct answer is Q0T0TAC. When a bare thermocouple is covered by a protective sheath, the response becomes A. faster and oscillatory, B. faster and non-oscillatory, C. slower and oscillatory, D. slower and non-oscillatory. The correct answer is slower and non-oscillatory. What is the normal percentage of rhodium in platinum-rhodium element used in the thermocouple? A. 0.1, B. 3, C. 13, D. 29. The correct answer is 13. Helium gas constant volume thermometer is suitable for the measurement of a temperature of C. A. 100. B. 0, C. 0, D. 800. The correct answer is 0. Bode diagram are generated from output response of the system subjected to which of the following input? A. impulse, B. step, C. ramp, D. sinusoidal. The correct answer is sinusoidal. Which of the following thermocouples is the most suitable for measuring a temperature of about 1600 C in an oxidizing atmosphere? A. platinum rhodium, B. iron constant 10, C. copper constant 10, D. chromel alumel. The correct answer is platinum rhodium. Mercury thermometer can be used to measure the temperature up to C. A. 100, B. 250, C. 350, D. 750. The correct answer is 350. The transfer function of a process is, if a step change is introduced into the system, then the response will be A. Underdamped. B. Critically damped. C. Overdamped. D. None of these. The correct answer is underdamped. Vapour actuated pressure spring thermometer does not require ambient temperature compensation. Ambient temperature compensation is provided in gas or liquid expansion pressure spring thermometer by A. Making the volume of thermometer bulb as large as conveniently possible. B. Reducing the volume of the capillary to a minimum. C. Reducing the volume of the receiving element to a minimum. D. All ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. Which of the following is not a differential pressure flow meter? A. Rothameter. B. Flow nozzle. C. Orificimeter. D. Venturimeter. The correct answer is Rothameter. Working principle of mercury in glass thermometer is based on volumetric expansion of mercury with increase in temperature. Which of the following undergoes minimum volumetric expansion for a given temperature change? A. Water. B. Mercury. C. Methyl alcohol. D. Carbon tetrachloride. The correct answer is mercury. Bourdon gauges are used for measuring pressure kg/cm2. A. Atmospheric. B. 2 gauge. C. 2 gauge. D. 10 absolute. The correct answer is 2 gauge. A photoelectric device in which the resistance of the metal is directly proportional to the light striking on it is known as photo-conductive cell. Photoelectric transducers are used for the measurement of those parameters which can be used to produce variation in A. Light intensity. B. Current. C. Flux density. D. Voltage. The correct answer is light intensity. A typical example of a physical system with underdamped characteristic is A. U-tube manometer. B. Spring-loaded diaphragm valve. C. CSTR with first-order reaction. D. Thermocouple kept immersed in a liquid-filled thermowell. The correct answer is spring-loaded diaphragm valve. An aneroid barometer measures the pressure. A. Atmospheric. B. Absolute. C. Vacuum. D. Gauge. The correct answer is absolute. A bolometer is A. Used for the measurement of thermal radiation. B. An element which senses optical input and delivers thermal output. C. Both A. B. D. Neither A nor B. The correct answer is both A. B. Thermal wells are used in the temperature measurement to A. Guard against corrosive and oxidizing action on thermocouple materials. B. Reduce measuring lag. C. Increase the fidelity. D. Increase the sensitivity. The correct answer is guard against corrosive and oxidizing action on thermocouple materials. The offset introduced by proportional controller with gain Kc in response of first-order system can be reduced by A. Reducing value of Kc. B. Introducing integral control. C. Introducing derivative control. D. None of the above. The correct answer is introducing integral control. A system with a double pole at the origin is unstable since the corresponding term in the time domain A is a constant. B grows exponentially with time. C grows linearly with time. D decays linearly with time. The correct answer is grows linearly with time. To increase the speed of response of a pressure spring liquid or gas expansion thermometer, the clearance space between the thermometer bulb and the thermal well should not be filled with A. Air. B. A metal powder or graphite. C. Oil. D. Mercury. The correct answer is air. In a second-order underdamped system, the A time required for the response of first reach its ultimate value is called the response time. B. Overshoot, which is a measure of how much the response exceeds the ultimate value increase with the decrease of damping coefficient E. C. Decay ratio, which is the ratio of the sizes of successive peaks is equal to the reciprocal of overshoot. D. Characteristics of a stepped response is represented by. The correct answer is overshoot, which is a measure of how much the response exceeds the ultimate value increase with the decrease of damping coefficient E. In an exothermic chemical reactor, the manipulated variable is the flow rate of A. Coolant, B. Reactants, C. Product, D. None of these. The correct answer is coolant. Very low pressure is expressed in microns, which is equal to mm of Hg Coulomb absolute at 0 C. A 0.0001, B 0.001, C 0.01, D 0.1. The correct answer is 0.001. The inverse Laplace transform of the function is A 180, B 180, C 180, D 180. The correct answer is 180. Thermal conductivity-based continuous flue gas analyzer makes use of varying thermal conductivity of the constituents of flue gases. Which of the following constituents of flue gases has the maximum thermal conductivity? A. CO2, B. N2, C. O2, D. CO. The correct answer is CO2. EMF generated in a thermocouple depends on the temperature. A. Of cold junction only, B. Of hot junction only, C. Difference between hot and cold junctions, D. Difference between cold junction and atmospheric temperature. The correct answer is difference between hot and cold junctions. Working principle of mercury in glass thermometer is based on the of mercury with increase in temperature. A. Increase of pressure, B. Increase of thermal conductivity, C. Volumetric expansion, D. Differential linear expansion. The correct answer is volumetric expansion. Number of poles in a system with transfer function is A2, B5, C3, D1. The correct answer is 3. Radiation thermometer cannot measure the temperature. A. Inside a pressure vessel, B. Of an object without coming in contact with it, C. Of liquid oxygen, D. Of moving objects at high temperature. The correct answer is of liquid oxygen. Temperature measurement by optical pyrometer is done above point which is 1063 C. A. Antimony, B. Gold, C. Silver, D. Nickel. The correct answer is gold. Continuous flue gas analyzer makes use of paramagnetic properties of some of its constituents which move towards the strongest part of the magnetic field, thus displacing diamagnetic gases. Which of the following gases is diamagnetic? A. CO2, B. O2, C. No, D. Number 2. The correct answer is CO2. Dilatometer is used to measure A. Stress, B. Strain, C. Deflection, D. Contraction expansion due to changes in temperature. The correct answer is contraction expansion due to changes in temperature. Mass spectrometer is used for the composition analysis of A. Alloys, B. Solids, C. Isotopes, D. None of these. The correct answer is isotopes. A first-order system with a time constant of 1 min is subjected to frequency response analysis. At an input frequency of 1 radian min, the phase shift is A. 45, B. 90, C. 180, D. 45. The correct answer is 45. Stability method uses open loop transfer function. A. Nyquist, B. Mikhailov, C. Routh, D. None of these. The correct answer is Nyquist. A pyranometer is an instrument used for measuring the A. beam radiation, B. global radiation, C. bright sunshine period, D. none of these. The correct answer is global radiation. All the thermocouples used for temperature measurement used dissimilar metal. A. strips, B. bars, C. wires, D. beads. The correct answer is wires. Composition of alloys can be determined by A. polarograph, B. chromatograph, C. refractometer, D. none of these. The correct answer is polarograph. Optical activity of a solution can be determined using A. polarimeter, B. polarograph, C. dilatometer, D. refractometer. The correct answer is polarimeter. Stability of a control system containing a transportation lag can be best analyzed by A. Routh test, B. root locus methods, C. frequency response methods, D. none of these. The correct answer is frequency response methods. Stabilizing time for the controllers is the time required for the response to reach % of its ultimate value. A. 63.2, B. 87.5, C. 95, D. 100. The correct answer is 95.